Hi, my name is Moshe Kindler, and I'm the publisher of The Jewish Link,
Hi, this is Elizabeth Kratz. I'm editor of The Jewish Link.
and you're on the Jewish Link Pitch Meeting podcast. We're here today with a very special guest who's already made me start laughing before we even got started. And we've never done this before, and it's not even for the wine guide. I'm here with Rabbi Jeff Seidel. Okay, Rabbi Jeff Seidel, welcome to the Jewish Link Pitch Meeting podcast. And we're going to begin with a l'chaim, okay? L'chaim for making it here, and l'chaim, I'm going to make a bracha, bracha atanu b'chalam, borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Okay. I believe this is a wine that finished, was a ranked wine. Very sweet, by the way.
This is one of our sponsors.
This is a not sponsor.
Not a sponsor wine. Okay, put it on the side then.
No, it's a semi. Okay, all right, no worries. Okay, so this is okay. Good. I'm actually happy. Good. So we will not be drunk though as we're talking. Okay, this is a semi-sweet wine. Rabbi Seidel, welcome. I have to apologize to you. Okay.
Why?
I have known of you for many years.
Okay.
And I feel bad that I've never really, I never really went over you, shook your hand. I've seen you at the Kotel. I've seen you speaking, and you always had so many people around you. And I said,
"Well, I'm happy that you saw me speaking and didn't correct me."
So I'm just saying, so Rabbi Seidel, welcome to Teaneck, welcome to here. I always like to start a little bit. Your name is so well known, but I know that I went on your social media to do a little research.
Oh boy!
And all I saw was barbecues and barbecues and barbecues. Tell me, before we get to the, have you?
That's why I gained so much weight.
I haven't seen you look good to me, but I'm saying, just tell me about. I think the barbecues. Just tell me,
sure.
and then we'll get to the Rabbi Seidel story as well. So,
okay.
Why am I seeing all these barbecues on your social media?
So, since October 7th, the war, and I work with generally my whole career, if you want to call it a career, my whole life has been, let's say, North American students. I've always helped them out. I eat, sleep, and drink it. I daven every day for new ideas, new Kiruv ideas.
Mm-hmm. And Rabbi Schuster, Mayor Schuster was your influence, correct?
Well, we worked together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, we did. And so once the war hit, everybody, the North America, except for a couple programs, everybody split, left the country. Okay. And at that time, I don't know if you were in Israel or not, everybody was extremely nervous. Everybody, to walk outside their door, that the Arabs, Hamas, might attack again. My daughter, who's a nurse, stayed at my house in the Jewish quarter, and because her husband went to the army, was called up right away, and there's no school, so my two grandsons are staying by me. My daughter had to go to work in the hospital, to take care of everybody from October 7th and other people.
Your daughter's a nurse also?
She's a nurse. My wife's a nurse too. Yeah, you're pretty good. My wife's a nurse, and both my twin daughters, are nurses. Mm-hmm. Right. And
so she raised them right. So you're at least they have a career. They have a real career, is what you're going to tell me. So
yeah, they deal with the physical, and I deal with the neshama.
I like that.
That's what one of the Chabad rabbis told me years ago.
I like that. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. So, my daughter asked me, I live in a Jewish quarter, if I can walk her if I can walk her from the house to the bus stop to get the bus. It's like 6:30 in the morning, whatever, until she'd go to work. And she was working extra shifts because of the war, because other nurses and doctors were called up. So I then took her right to work. Okay, everybody was petrified. What's going on? They're afraid to walk out of walk out of the house, afraid to do anything, and they didn't know what else was going to happen. So they had, next to my Asher David Milstein Center at Hebrew University, across from Hebrew University. We're not affiliated with Hebrew University. We do serve Hebrew students. So there's a hotel, and people from the up north were relocated down to Jerusalem, and they all were in the hotel. I think it's called the Jerusalem Hotel. Mm-hmm. And they would be there, and we went over there to lend a hand, to reach out if we could help any of the people out that are there, whether it's to use our center like for laundry or to hang out or to watch have the children do something, play like a playground, or to watch a soccer game. They call it football in Israel. And we saw there they had military police everywhere around that hotel because they're afraid. Now you don't see it, but the military police were called up, Mishmar Gavul in Hebrew, to just protect those people. So then we invited the Mishmar Gavul, 2 doors away, which we are from the hotel, for a barbecue, right? Because these men also and women were away from their families, right? So we did the first night, and then they asked us for a second night and a third night. Third night I got an award, okay? And then I'm starting to get phone calls all over the place about doing barbecues.
And not just Mishmar Gvul.
No, these are real. I'm sorry, Mishmar Gvul are also real. These are other different parts of the Israeli army or Air Force or the military.
But they just heard that Rabbi Seidel was making barbecues.
They heard that, and I think that we were nice people also along the way. Yeah. So that's how really it started. We go all over, up, down south, everywhere on the border, like right next to the border. Yeah. We were one time, and we had to get up a quarter to 6 million in the morning, and then we all drove down for like a breakfast for soldiers who just got out of Gaza after 37 days, and we had to be there, and we served them all breakfast, right? And I remember the missiles went off. Okay, you see them going off, and the soldiers. I'll never. This is wild. The soldiers that were in Gaza were just standing around because they're used to it. The other soldiers who were their friends from the army base that they were in came to greet them. They all went on they stayed down, right? And I just stood up there like an idiot, not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, you look like you just came out of Gaza. You didn't react.
Yeah,
So.
And then we were there. I think we got out of there. With singers and a lot of people there. Most of got out of there like 11:30, 12 in the morning. Being there from early morning to breakfast, and then that night, that was a good night. Then that night we went, in Judea, Samaria for another barbecue. It was Hanukkah time, actually. It was Hanukkah. I remember now. It was Hanukkah. And then in pouring rain. And then we went to this army base. And then they had in the middle of the base, and I had some donors with me. It wasn't many soldiers. Middle of the thing, they get a call to go, out into one of the villages and check it out. And then I don't want to say what happened, but it was a good night. In other words,
it was a good night for the Jewish people.
For the Jewish people, yeah.
Okay.
So it started like that, and it has not stopped. It has not stopped. What has changed? One second. Last night we went to a base. One of the newer bases, totally from boys, men, all from fellows that were there. And there's one starting on Hanukkah time coming up with a mikvah and the base and everything. And I will tell you, every base I go to has several minyanim. The food is a very high level food of kashrus. Okay, and I mean, we one time brought to the base. My workers brought from people, the friends of theirs, who made cakes, very nice, made cakes for the army from Har Nov, and they put it on the table, and the rabbi of the base says, please take it off. There's no hechsher on it.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from, and again, I don't know if he asked my workers, do you know these people? My workers might have said, no, I don't know them, but people, a friend of a friend, gave us these cakes. When we did the barbecues during the 3 weeks, no music. The rabbis came up to us and said, first we had a live singer. And then that was like right when the 3 weeks started. So it wasn't the Tisha B'Av, the 9 days segment. And the rabbi came up to me and says, if you already have a singer, it's okay. But he turned the volume lower, the rabbi, for the singer. And then the rabbi gave a Devar Torah for 20 minutes just to make sure it was like a Suda mitzvah.
Yeah.
And the singer didn't sing again. He was a nice fella. He says, fine, I'm not here to... So that's what's been going on. And now, since January 1st, December 31st, when on December 30th, December 29th, a Friday, a young woman who's an alumni of mine, comes into my office on a Friday morning, and I'm sitting there getting, Shabbat meals done, and she says, Jeff, remember me? And it took me about, to process her name.
Be honest, you didn't recognize her, probably. No, you didn't. Or you?
I don't want to give away the secret. How I recognize her.
Okay, got it.
She messaged me beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Jeff, I'm coming. So I was able to put one and one together. Okay, who's coming there? She says, I'm coming. Can I bring my group in by you, my old city office, for prayer books, for Sidurim? If I have a Sidurim, I give out Chumashim. If those who want the other different books on Judaism, I give army seats down. I said, of course you can come by. So I said, why don't you come to an army barbecue? She says, Jeff, we're on a program. But the program ends Sunday morning. Are you here Sunday night? Sunday night, New Year's Eve, December 31st. We have a huge barbecue in the South. These kids got their own bus. They were still here. Their own bus. They came for the barbecue. They're let's call it young professional age. And then they went back to Tel Aviv for New Year's Eve. You can't be an army base. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. And since then, we bring a bus from Tel Aviv of students to meet the soldiers. So, like someone says, you got the best of both worlds. You do the army, you help them out, you get them to fill in for those who want. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I helped get to fill in. Most times, the army already has to fill in a warehouse for those who want. They have seat for the boys. So I don't want to, like right now we have a campaign where we're getting Hanukkah menorahs, extra Hanukkah menorahs for some soldiers that are in Lebanon and that are in Gaza. Extra. We got 900 Ulovim sets for the soldiers during Sukkot time. Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, we're also still doing it with the college students or the young people that come who do internships, volunteer programs in Tel Aviv, which is great.
And let's talk about, so post-October 7th, those numbers have gone down significantly, but we're hoping they're going to come back, correct?
Numbers of what?
Of the people doing internships, or not the case. More people than ever. What I was going to say is really what has changed really that you've seen.
So, for example,
you didn't work with Tzava that much before October 7th. No, right? Nothing, right? At all.
They have not. I mean, I like them, right? We all like the Tzava. You're wearing a green shirt, right? Okay, huh?
By the way, I have to say, Rabbi Seidel came in wearing a really nice IDF Army jacket. So
you want to show it to everybody? Did you see the thing I got aside there, General?
It was a General. I guess we should show it. Okay, I was jealous of it. So
yeah.
Okay. Here, let's bring it here.
I mean, I would wear it for the interview if they would look good,
Well, I will say, unfortunately, just be careful walking around Times Square. I know that's.
I was there last night. I was there last night.
Yeah.
Very, very sad. There's a gentleman there. Had a pin. And I honestly, I live in Israel, so a little bit different for me. Jews for Palestine.
Yeah.
He had a clean-shaven fella. It was a fella. Wasn't like a young kid. Because they had, grayish hair. He was sitting down on the Long Island Railroad. Jews for Palestine. Yeah. Which is probably for you to see this is more common than I see it.
But that's your left wing, don't you have like an extreme left wing in the state of Israel that's similar minded? No.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't always see them. Let's say. I mean, I see the college kids that are left wing and they speak English. The Israeli ones, I don't always.
You know
see.
what? I was told actually. This is nothing to do. I was told that if you're secular, you barely come to Jerusalem. You barely come to Jerusalem. Maybe it just.
But that's not what you would say. I have a question. If you live in New Jersey,
yep.
Do you often come to New York City?
Used to. I used to work there. I mean,
You used to work there, but if you don't work there,
not as often.
okay, same thing. You can't blame the Israelis who don't go to Jerusalem. First of all, if it doesn't matter to you, then why would you go?
Right.
Right? If the New York Knicks were in New York here, or New Jersey, New Jersey Devils, or whatever teams they got here, if it didn't matter to you, you've never gone to the Garden.
Right.
I don't criticize.
Nation's capital, though, also. That's Jerusalem's the capital of Israel.
Okay, so how many times have you been to Washington, D.C.?
My average is about once or twice a year.
You go for a protest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm not criticizing the Israeli.
And the left wing also comes for protests as well.
That's right. I'm not criticizing the Israeli individual, but it's just not them. That's all I'm saying to you.
Yeah. Okay, so what I also thought was happening, and this is a question, is are you seeing more about we have more if you want, we have another kind if you want also we have white.
Is this one of our sponsors or no?
We can move on to a different bottle.
Oh, we're gonna have to move on to a different bottle.
Okay. At least it's the afternoon. Okay, good.
It's late already. I know.
I know it's late. It's late. No, but we're good. Okay. One question I always had is the guys who are coming to you, the young men and women. So these are kids. It's birthright trips. It's
right.
It's a Hebrew University students.
Hebrew, Tel Aviv University. I have students with IDC. I have other programs that I can't mention because the programs will try to stop the kids from coming to me. Mm-hmm. I can't. Most of my pictures that I take now, I can't put them on social media. That's why you don't see Army, because the program then will tell the students not to come to me.
Because once they see that, like, you've caught them, so to speak. Potentially it's not.
How have I caught them? I don't get these people.
I'm not talking about you.
I'm not being negative now. Yeah. If I take care and help out a young individual, I gave him maybe a Shabbat meal. I let him come by me and listen to a lecture. Okay? I gave him dinner. I gave him a couple beers, okay? On his free time, what have I done?
You've impacted him a little bit. You don't think so?
Impacted for what?
You gave him a positive. You gave him a positive Jewish Yiddish experience.
So what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, that's my whole complaint. Is that what have I done? It's a free time of the person has not left the university or has not left his gap year program.
Right.
Okay, and what's the difference? He comes by me, again, has a couple beers, listens to maybe a lecture, might be watching, say, a football game. Okay, one of my other social programs I have, right? Gets kosher food. Don't tell anybody, kosher food. What's the difference between doing that or going to some club in Jerusalem or Tel Aviv? I don't understand it. To this day, I don't understand these people. And I have to. I'm going to end it right there because if you get me started,
I see.
If you get me started, I could spend days telling you stories about all these groups who have, I guess, given my life a challenge. And I feel extremely bad because I hate missing out on opportunities. I hate that. If you work for me and somebody walks in and walks out, I would start grabbing that guy. Where are you going? Get him. Mm-hmm. Or if someone says to me he'll go to classes, let's say on Thursday, I say absolutely not. Because if you can't go on Thursday to classes at the yeshiva, because if you get sick or don't feel well, I missed a whole week on you.
That's funny.
Okay, you understand?
I get it. Wow. All right, Rabbi Seidel, we have to. I need to hear the Jeff Seidel story.
What's the Jeff Seidel story?
I need to hear where you started. I need to hear your origin. I hear the Chicago accent a little bit.
I was born in Chicago.
Yes.
Pre-Michael Jordan. Okay. I went to Nazi rallies as a young boy.
You mean the ones that went through Skokie?
Skokie? I was with the JDL in Marquette Park.
Oh.
Okay? I never forget as a kid in high school, hitching a ride, on the street, going to like Foster Avenue where the B'nai Kiva Center was, and going with the I think it was the JDL, and we drive down to Marquette Park where the Polish people were, and right there was I never forget this, a huge building with red Nazi flags and brown shirts there sitting outside there, and then we would go the Jews and sit in the back, stand in the back. The Polish people were in the front cheering them on, I'm sorry, individuals. I think most were Polish because it was in a Polish area. I don't want to. Okay, we were in the back protesting.
Wow. So that's where you're. I mean, so tell me about those experiences. Meaning, like, what? Tell me, like, what? Had you went to Skokie? You went to yeshiva, correct? Yes.
No,
you never
I went to Ida Crowd, class of 1975. Jeff Seidel.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much class I went to in high school. I think it's a miracle that I graduated.
Were you into JDL then, or sports, or something like that at the time?
I was into everything Jewish. I used to have the school make phone calls to Soviet Jews in Russia. I used to have the rabbi, one of the rabbis from Germany, from Europe, from the Holocaust, right? Who knew Yiddish, and he'd get on the phone and he would speak to the Russians. You know, that time was very popular. Save Soviet Jewry, let my people go.
Sure.
And these are older people, and trust me, years ago to make a phone call to Russia, make a phone call anywhere costs a lot of money.
Yep.
Not like today. And I had that school pay for those phone calls. I'm not sure. I was terrible. We got things we got to do. Yeah.
And they were calling just to give chizuk to
give chizuk, and you could, I remember you could hear a little bit clicks or this and that on the phone. Like, obviously the government, the KGB, or somebody was listening to the phone calls.
Interesting. Okay, so you didn't go to school much. You were into so I'm guessing. So what happened after high school graduation?
Thank God I graduated.
Okay. Yes.
I'm not joking. Thank God.
Yeah.
Made my parents happy. I think they might have paid the school off. Okay. And then I went to get my. I went to college. Don't Jewish kids go to college?
I've heard of it. Yes.
I mean, if they don't get football scholarships or basketball scholarships, they go to college, right?
Correct.
Went to college. Finished in 3 years.
Not bad.
Yeah. Went to get my master's degree in psychology.
Did you calm down in college, or no? You didn't calm down. Was high school? Were you a better student in college than in high school?
Well, that's not saying much. In high school, I wasn't a student at all.
Okay.
I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. High school, college. I think I might have woke up a little bit. Maybe you want to say. And then I went to graduate school. I went to master's in psychology. Got my master's thesis published at 20 years old in a psych journal. Getting my doctorate, then in my PSYD in psychology.
Wow.
Come to Israel on a psychology convention for the summertime, right? That little break you had. And I said, you know what? I don't want to do this. I want to help out Jewish students my whole life.
Hold on a second. You're at your PhD. Your PsyD.
PhD, I'm getting it. Yeah. I mean, I like maybe 2 more years to go.
You're already in your mid 20s, late 20s, correct? Roughly.
No, it's 21, 22.
Oh, so you went pretty fast. Okay, got it.
Yeah, fast track.
Fast track. Okay, got it. Okay, so you're in Israel, and you decide what happened? Was it the convention? Was it an experience? Was it a?
I just like looked around and said, I don't know. I could sit all day and sit and listen to people with their difficulties and their problems, or I could sit and help Jewish kids out.
With their problems.
You want to say problems?
Opportunities. I like that word.
Yeah. I said I'd rather help the Jewish kids out. I'd rather help them out. Yeah. I haven't stopped since. I'm 20. It's like mostly like 24/7.
How'd you find? So what? So you go back to Chicago, or you stayed in Israel then, or you went back for a little bit?
I went back for a semester of grad school.
What year are we talking about? This is post 67. This is.
No. I'm not that old.
I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Give me a break a little bit here. I mean.
Oh, you graduated 75. So this is.
Yeah, come on. That's right. I graduated 75.
Yeah.
I do remember though. In Hebrew school in 67, the rabbi said, in June. I think nobody understood him. No, he said, we now have gotten back Jerusalem. I mean, I remember that, him saying that. Most people would never remember, we now can come to a unified Jerusalem. I remember him saying that. Did it impact me? No, not at all. But I just remember him saying that.
I got it.
You're talking about 19 in the 80s, 81,
Okay.
80, about 82, 83.
So that revelation. What's next? Where'd you go after that revelation?
So then I came to Israel. And I said I want to study more, learn more. And when I came back to Israel, there was not, like it is today, all these one-year programs.
Right.
I think they had like maybe Hak Sharab and Akiva, BMT, I think it was. Basketball means Torah, whatever they call it.
Best meal in town was I?
Oh, best meal in town?
Yeah, BMT. That's what I thought BMT stood for.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's a little bit older for me, by the way. I'm 51, so that BMT wasn't around as much then.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It faded out in the early, late 80s, in the early 90s, I think.
How can a school fade away?
I don't know. Good question. I think also they made. I think something happened to Rosh Hashiva. I don't know the whole story.
And I mean, very serious. Why do I say that to you now?
The founder is really important.
Why do I say this to you now? Because someone said to me yesterday, he says, you're amazing. I said, I know. No. He said, you're amazing. Since the war, you've reinvented yourself. He says, you've just a new creation of who you are just to keep up and keep on drawing and all these college students, all these people in.
Right.
You just keep on changing the trend, whatever it is. I said, I'm always going to do that. I said, I always got to be on top of the game. I says, I have to make sure I can continually attract people to see who they are and to see what Judaism and Israel is all about.
Do you feel like you've reinvented yourself, or you're just doing like the? I mean, reinvention is a strong term.
I mean, I kind of have in a sense. Can I get some more of the wine?
Sure.
I mean, if we're gonna be, I just want to make sure without a suffix when I make a bracha achrona, no suffix.
No problem. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I never would have done this, like I said, years ago. Now all of a sudden, and now I have people call me up all the time. College students, young adults who are not like 25 years old, who want to come to these barbecues, and then when they come, I snag them. I'm able to, talk to them, grab them for Shabbat, and they stay mostly in Tel Aviv, and also for some classes which I offer in Tel Aviv.
Yeah, I actually, let's talk about that. You have you have an offer like a Jeff Seidel Center.
I got a lot of things. I got too much going on.
But I'm talking about
Tel Aviv. We got a place. Yeah, we have a place in Beersheba which I barely use. We have the Asher David Milstein Center in the Old City and the center across from Hebrew University. And again, when I say at Tel Aviv University, I'm saying across. No affiliation with the university. And they've warned me many times, you are not affiliated with us.
Right. Because, I get that. Interesting. So the typical day of Rabbi Jeff Seidel is, I mean, I guess you told me Thursday, Friday, you're working on Shabbat meals, mostly. Placing.
I'm doing everything.
You're doing everything.
Here, I told them tonight. If I'm staying tonight here in Teaneck, I said, I probably would be up again at 3 a.m, because Israel time, getting Shabbat meals for kids who are messaging me at that time.
Well, give me a sense.
It's about 100 a week.
And you have like what you have?
I have a whole list of families everywhere.
I see.
Some I keep the phone number they keep in my hand.
Okay, I see actually 2 phone numbers on your hand.
Yeah.
I hope your handwriting's good. And you have a network of families all in the old city, all in the Jewish
all
quarter?
over the country.
Oh,
all over
okay.
the country.
We're not talking about.
If you would say to me, Jeff, I had a couple of girls 3 weeks ago. They were on a program. They went to Athens, Greece, in the middle of the semester, in the middle of the term, and they asked me for a place for Shabbat. I got them a place. Yeah, why not? What, you're gonna let somebody miss out on it?
Right.
Or you're going to let somebody miss a step on the ladder? Not me. not me.
So tell me about that idea that you're placing them for Shabbat. That's, in a sense, that is Kiruv. I know you don't want to be necessarily pigeonholed as a Kiruv, but you're giving them a positive Jewish experience.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I'm very picky where they go. I'll sit there and analyze the young person, whether it's an Orthodox boy or girl, because I want to make sure those young people also get a good experience, because they're also looking for a positive experience. Okay? Or if it's a secular young person. 100%.
You would not send someone with an Orthodox background to the same place that you would send a secular.
Why not?
I'm just
Why
asking.
not?
I was asking.
Of course. I mean, I don't know. I have to know the host. Some of the hosts don't want secular kids in their house. Okay, understand? Or okay, other ones they don't mind, and I don't mind. I have to make sure each person, even when same thing when I place a boy or girl in yeshiva, that they go the best place possible. Because my responsibility is to have them go the furthest that they can.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I hear. So you're in a sense. I'm listening to you. I never really thought of it this way. You're in a sense, you're a
maitre d'.
Maitre d' means you only have one place.
I understand.
You're an agency, actually, in a sense, a placement agency, but not necessarily. You're placing people for meals, for Shabbat, for
everything.
For everything.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there. Don't laugh. You could be talking to me sometimes, maybe not today, and my mind could be thinking about some kid from yesterday or today or tomorrow.
Oh. All right, I need to hear some stories. Rabbi Seidel, you got to tell me some good. I want to hear some good stories of hosting, and maybe just give me
Oh boy, you put me on the spot. I think I told you a story before we came on the air, and I forgot which one it was already.
But just tell me, you have a favorite Shabbos host story, a favorite Shabbos placement story, a favorite alumni story, a famous graph.
I have. Ready?
Let's hear it.
Last night, okay, because it's fresh in my mind, and I think I started to compile. Honestly, I will tell you. I started to compile a list on a small little piece of paper like that, some stories. Now that's sitting in my drawer, my desk in Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. But last night we did an army barbecue. But it is with obviously with a frum group of fellas, base. Okay, I met this fella maybe 20 years ago. I met him at a rainbow festival. I was sent to do Kiruv at one of these raves, these like weekend events, sure. Right? Tons of Jewish kids are there, and you pitch a tent, and it's the whole gig. And I went there. I remember it was like in Oregon or Nevada, someplace like this. When I remember. I think I flew to maybe Las Vegas. And I got a car and drove. And I've seen this fellow there who I was very close, friendly with there, Israeli fellow. I've seen him over the years, here, there. We keep in touch. I see him this summer. We're talking for an hour at the hotel. And then I saw him 3 weeks ago at sunrise at the hotel on Shabbos. He said, now, Jeff, tomorrow I'm back in Israel now. I'm here for good. See, I'm wearing a kippah now on my head. Now, like when you saw me, I'm going back into the army, and it's got to be 35, 40. He's not a kid, right? Not like you and I, a kid.
Exactly.
We did him last night at Army Barbecue.
Wow.
Okay, he's in a totally frum unit.
35, a reservist unit, I guess. No?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, let me tell you. I hate to say this. I sit and study every morning in the 5 towns before sunrise. We daven sunrise, Hanetz. I go 45 minutes early, and I sit there with a gentleman. I mean, now he's older, and he teaches me. Do we learn together? No, he teaches me. One of my students from Hebrew University. Okay. I'll give you a story. You want to hear a story? I know you like this stuff.
Story.
Okay, hold on,
you
hold
know,
on.
I publish a paper, so we're about the stories. So I love
Okay,
it,
no
yeah.
problem.
I
no
like
problem.
good stories.
And this one I like very. And this one's these are all new stories too. I'm not giving you the paper before they had the.
By the way, for the book, what's you mentioned about putting some stories in a book?
Oh no! I can't write a book.
Okay,
Because
you read the Mayor Schuster book, though.
I read it. I'm in it. Thank God. I mean, yeah, I read it. The problem I have is that I get so frustrated or so angry with people who don't do Kiruv or don't help the next person out that if I wrote a book, it'd be like a couple chapters where I would blow up. And I'm not, because all I care about, I eat, sleep, and drink this stuff. My wife says when we first got married, you'd wake up in the middle of the night like angry or crying or talking about some kid, this and that person. She says, that's how you are. It's all you think about. Mm-hmm. Okay?
You were always like that.
Sure, what else is there to think about? Without Klal Yisrael, there's nothing else. No, I'm not joking now. People say to me, how did you get into this?
Yeah.
I look at them, how would you not get into this? How could you not help somebody out? I don't get it. If you went to the grocery store, right, to buy something, and some guy's a little lost or a child is lost, right, or someone's like an elderly person looking around needs help, you wouldn't help them out?
Of course not.
Of course?
Of course I don't.
So how can you not help somebody out? How can you not help somebody out on the airplane? Maybe put the filling on or something. Why? Because it's quote unquote a Chabad thing? No, I'm being very serious now.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
When I got married, my wife is Lubavitcher. Okay? Don't tell anybody. Okay, please. All right? My wife's Lubavitcher. And the rabbi who was involved with carving Rabbi Moshe Feller in Minnesota, I'll never forget, you're talking a good 42 years ago. He said to me, Jeff, and I was this big person ready, this upstart, like rookie of the year, in Kiruv, right? And Lubavitch likes that stuff. Don't think, Jeff, that it's only Lubavitchers can put the filling on people. If anybody wants to, everybody can.
Right. Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
To help everybody out, you have to in life. You honestly have to make a Kiddush Hashem. I don't understand some people. Mm-hmm. I just how they can walk away from it.
Hold on a second. You realize that most people aren't Jeff Seidel. You realize that. How can you get upset at them? The vast majority of people are not Jeff Seidel or Mayor Schuster.
But they're individual. They're people. They're people.
Yeah, but they're not.
They're people that if they fall on the ground, they hurt their leg, they're going to feel pain, right?
Yeah. You
walk by somebody in life, you don't feel pain? I do. I do. You walk by this and that. Can I help you? Do you need anything? Can I help you with something? Obviously, I'm saying you're not in a rush, but and maybe that's how I am. That's how I grew up. That's how I was brought up. Mm-hmm. I didn't say stop your car in a bad neighborhood and fix somebody's car, the flat tire.
Right.
But every pure people, you're talking. God gave us chesed. He gave us those mitzvah of chesed, right? Yeah. I didn't make it up. Did I make it up? No. Okay.
But you could have been a teacher of Torah. You could have been. I mean, you could have. There are different ways of channeling.
You can still be a teacher of Torah. Still got to help somebody out. You can be a teacher of Torah and give that extra bit to help somebody out. That's what Hashem wants. I think. He wants each one of us to go out of our comfort zone and to do something. That's why also I told you, maybe I might have mentioned before we came on the air, that in the old city, in the Chorva, the Zilbermans, we fast from the war.
Yeah.
Every Monday and Thursday.
Yeah.
My only complaint about it, and I do fast, right? We declare it the day before, and we fast. Mincha, this is wild. Mincha shofar blowing. Yeah. Like 8 shofars go off.
At the Chorva Center.
At the Chorva.
Wow.
Or Menachem, in the old city. And, we also we read the Torah, Yakel, and Haftorah, and Slichos. And that's just their way of giving that extra bit. Okay? I fast. I don't lose weight, but I fast. That's right. Okay.
Because you probably overdo it on the post fast meal.
Probably.
Okay.
No, but I'm saying is that
Yeah.
that's how these individuals go out of their comfort zone to help for the war. That's how I do it, because I feel I should do something extra to help out. You have to go out of your comfort zone a little bit. Something. I didn't say jump off a cliff. I didn't say drink wine that you don't like.
That's funny. Okay. All right, Rabbi Seidel, you are...
Why don't you just call me Jeff?
I'll call you Jeff.
My
because
friends call me Jeff.
I know you insist on it. Okay, Jeff. Wow. Okay. Interesting. I'm actually wondering how you even have time to eat. Period. If you're so caught up in with the Jewish people, I'm just saying. How do you even have time?
You don't watch me ever? I stand up when I eat most of the time.
I believe that.
I really do.
I believe it. Yeah, I could see that. I could see it.
And when like I said, when I'm here in America, I'm up generally at 3-4 in the morning on the phone with Israel, organizing different events with my staff, which I probably honestly shouldn't. Don't tell them this. I should let them run the show themselves. Why do I got to sit there and be like
Micromanage? Yeah.
Right.
Tell me the typical Jeff Seidel Shabbos. I know it's not the average Shabbos. So tell me about your typical Shabbos.
Oh, my Shabbos. Okay. First of all, by the time I come down to the Kotel, the Western Wall, I've already set up maybe 80 people, 70, 80 people. They've called now again. When I first started out, there was no telephones, no this, no that. Remember, they used to go to little phone booths and put those asimonim in, and you need 1,000 of them, right? Just to call your next door neighbor.
Right.
Okay. Now people call me all the time. I need a meal, need a meal, need a meal. Okay, how many are you? 2, 3. I make them fill out a form so I have an idea who they are, and then I can always check up on it, let's say. And then they say what area they want to be in. Okay, so then I have a list of families that I call or I know who can take, and then I match them up. Because kids are not always now, like it was years ago, excited to come to the Kotel. But
what is it? Why has that changed? What?
They like food. They've done it and did it. I mean, very simple. And these are from kids. These are from kids. The secular kids feel intimidated by the Kotel. They don't see that. They don't see that full connection of the Kotel.
Mm-hmm. I think the from kids also can be intimidated a little bit. Meaning, like a little bit. Meaning, okay. Some of the more modern. There's something.
I hate
about
to
it.
use that term, but okay, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Friday night at the Kotel, a lot of Hasidim are there.
Yeah,
a lot of Hasidim are there Friday night. I remember on my Poland trip, we were in Chachmei Lublin. Right, we all know Chachmei Lublin.
Sure.
Okay, and they have a bunch of rooms there. So, and it's a place also where you can eat.
Yeah.
So,
it's a hotel. It's a full...
It's a hotel. Mm-hmm. So, they have food, and whoever your caterer is, some of the caterer then will ship the food ahead of you to wherever you're at. So, Chachmei Lublin. So, at that, I'll never forget this. This is like 6-7 years ago. Hold on to the watch. We got time, don't worry. Okay? So, my worker and I, we had dinner, like, down the hallway, and a bunch of Hasidim, the end of the hallway, and, they had maybe a 3-day trip, and they were going to drive all night, see all the Kevarim, all the graves of people, right? So I told my worker, let's go now. They're going to daven Mariv. No problem. Okay, we grabbed Mariv there. And my students walked to go up to their dorms. What do you call it? Up to their rooms where they're sleeping. Not like it was when I started out. Not one kid asked me about these people, who they are, what they're wearing, what they're dressed. All my students just walked by them, to go to their room. Mm-hmm. Well, my worker and I were it was so packed of Hasidim in there, we were in the hallway davening Mariv with them. Not one kid asked me about. It's just totally foreign, or they don't care, or they have their own lives, no interest. Well, years ago when I started out, people would say to me, why does he have the payas? Why does he wear a getup like that? They might ask about the marriage. Do they ever see the wife until they get married, or things of this name? All those stereotypes that you might have heard of. Now today they don't ask at all.
Is that because they're less idealistic? Is that because I have heard
Less knowledgeable, less away from the source.
okay, because I thought from my friends who are in Kiruv, they've told me that it's harder to get, meaning it's that generation that came to travel. They're not there anymore, meaning they're not coming to Israel anymore. It's harder.
They don't go to the kotel.
They don't.
And that's why I go at night to the bars to pick them up to talk to them. Seriously. I got to go where they're at.
You got to go where they're at.
Right?
Yeah.
And I honestly enjoy going at night until 3, 4 in the morning and talking to these kids. Yeah.
So how does it work? Like one night
How
in
does
Jerusalem?
it work?
No,
how does it work? I'm exhausted half the time.
I get the sense you don't sleep very much. So
How can you sleep when you have to worry about Klal Yisrael?
That's right.
I'm being very serious now. When I was in yeshiva, I went to Or Sameach, and the rabbi said to us, and I didn't understand him totally. He said to the boys, like chizuk, how can you go to sleep at night if you don't know the Gemara? So how can you go to sleep if something's bothering you like this?
Yeah.
You can sleep. If something happened with your paper, with the magazine here,
I'm not sleeping.
with this podcast, right? With me, if I said the wrong thing, right? Not part of the script, right? How can you go to sleep at night?
It would bother me. You're right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So Klal Yisrael bothers me. I mean, very sadly, that it affects me. That I think I could be doing more for them. Mm-hmm. Every day, I think I can. I wish, and every day I daven that I get more ideas to help out Klal Yisrael.
I hear that. Wow. Powerful. Whew.
You don't. You're not there yet. You're getting there.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm not at your Madrega. I'm not at.
I'm a Cornish. I just got a Cornish. You stick with me. Come on, we're going to do it together. And I'm not joking. Once again, this young lady here also. What's your name again?
Hannah.
You're going to Hannah to help out, right?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear that. So first of all,
and you can bring the wine.
I'll bring better wine in the future. Sorry,
that's not good wine.
It's fine. It's just that some people like. Are you a wine? Are you an enophile? Do you like wine, or you don't care?
I'm Yedim's wine.
You don't care. So
I don't care. Anybody who pours, I drink.
So this is good wine for you,
right?
Because it's sweet. Okay, so this is good wine, and I'm not even the biggest wine maven. So, but I know what's good wine.
You have whiskey. We can do whiskey too.
We do have whiskey, but I'm not breaking it out just yet. So when I get a little closer,
maybe the young lady here wants some whiskey. No?
No.
Give her a double. Give her a double.
Okay. So let's. Wow. So you're here now in the United States, and you spent time with a couple good friends of mine. And how can just what's next for Jeff Seidel? How can we help you? How can my readership? How can my viewership? How can we help Jeff Seidel? What can we do for you? I mean, obviously, Stuck is a part of it, but talk to me about what's your tachlis here.
We have to be obviously Stuck is part of it, and I'm being very okay. But I want everybody to do more for the Jewish people. I really mean it. I my head just spins sometimes, and not because I drink a lot of wine. And I'm being very serious now. Okay? We have to make sure that we are helping getting people closer to Hashem. I mean, isn't that what Hashem wants from us?
Of course.
And right now, these are the parashas.
You got to divide it up. You have to be normal. You have a family. You need to make a living. You have to. Those things are things are part of it.
I didn't say give up your job, right? Mm-hmm. Give up the newspaper and go out and stand in the street, or go to Rutgers University in New Jersey here.
But that's what you do. You're doing that.
Yeah, but I chose to be nuts. I chose to do this, right? Mm-hmm. And every second of my life, I thank God. If you tell, I'm the happiest guy in the world. I might not look it, right? I'm excited. And I want to tell you also what I do now, how I reinvented. I reinvented, I guess, the wheel in a sense, right? As less kids are coming to study, this is a great idea of mine.
You already had me. I was amazed you're going to the bars. I thought that's unbelievable. That
are you serious?
No, I'm saying I knew that you were. I mean, but I didn't to get them where they are.
Oh, that was you I saw.
It was not.
Oh.
Yeah.
As less kids come to Israeli universities as of now. I don't want the universities to call me up tomorrow, and
Right.
give me a hard time.
And we're hoping that post this war, they'll be coming back. We're hoping, correct? Junior year abroads, these kind of things.
We hope, and I think it will. But right now, so I run a Poland trip. I've been doing it for like 30 years, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't enjoy going to Poland. I sit there. The second we get on that plane and I get to Poland, I say to myself, even though I have nice young kids here, students, why am I here? And they murdered my people here. I'm like, some days I'm in tears. I'm sitting there just staring at my Donic or staring at some places here. Okay, unbelievable. I sorry I'm going off on it. I know I have some stories about Poland too. Okay,
but you know why you're going there? You're going there.
I'm going to help the people out, these young people out, to try to encourage them, to chizuk them, to get them more tuned in. So now, what do? Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready. Reinvention.
Okay. Reinvention. Less kids will go to Hebrew U, Tel Aviv U. So I have nobody for Poland. I now work on American kids that are studying, instead of going to Israel, they go to Florence, Italy, they go to Madrid, they go to Barcelona, they go Copenhagen. The American kids, I get them to come on my Poland trip.
Wow. That's great.
No stopping. For some of those kids, it might be the only Jewish thing they have that whole semester they're abroad.
Probably.
You hear that?
Yeah.
That's right. And then I do it sometimes near Pesach time, and then I get them to go to a Pesach Seder, those young people. And then they'll go back to Wisconsin, they'll go back to Syracuse, they'll go back to Indiana, and I follow up on them. Oh, here's the story I wanted to tell you now. Now I remember now. Okay, you get me wound up with all these people. Last year's Poland trip. Young woman, University of Wisconsin. Okay? I don't want to tell you her name. The Chabad rabbi, Rabbi Mendel, at University of Wisconsin, he sent me this message. He says, Jeff, do you know the impact you had on this one girl? And I'm like, thinking,
No.
He sends me a message from this young woman. She's going to graduate this year. She says, Jeff, I told you about this girl. She was studying in Europe. She came on your Poland trip because the rabbi told me about her, and I got her. He sends me a message. She says, I want to tell you, it's because of Jeff Seidel's Poland trip that I did not go with my friends on Yom Kippur to Las Vegas.
Wow.
The Chabad rabbi sent me this message. Mm-hmm. I says...
It's a small but meaningful impact, powerful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this girl made a stand against her friends also not to go.
Yom Kippur is not the time to be in Las Vegas. I like it.
But for these kids it is. What do they know?
Right.
I go Rosh Hashanah. I don't spend Rosh Hashanah in Israel. Where do you think I go?
I don't know. Where do you go?
Well, thank God you didn't say Uman. Okay? I go to Madrid.
Okay. Why?
Why would you not go to Madrid?
You tell me.
You know how many American kids are studying in Madrid first semester? You have kids from Tulane University, from Duke, Santa Barbara, and Florida, all there. I go there special, and I spend my whole summer, just like I networking all these kids that come to Israel, and I go to Tel Aviv almost 3 times a week, looking for kids, talking to them, getting them involved, writing down their names on my hand, whatever I got to write it down, okay? If they're going to be second semester someplace or where they're going to be. Kid says to me, I'm at Duke. Good, I write his name down, get it home. Or I'm going to be at Wisconsin at second semester. I go to Madrid for Rosh Hashanah services, Rosh Hashanah meals for these kids.
Wow.
And that made honestly, I'm being very serious. And this year, Rosh Hashanah was a Thursday and Friday. Kids came, many kids came first night. Some kids didn't even know me, obviously, but it came like a domino. We had a large crowd the first night. You have a couple classes we gave, right? The second night was less. because second night was already Thursday night. No school Friday. Many kids went traveling around. They went to Italy, Canary Islands on Rosh Hashanah. That's these young people. Did I tell them not to go? Not gonna help or happen, right?
Yeah.
I'm still in contact with those people, and
But you got them for the first day. You got
that's
them?
right. Now, also, when I say that to you, that's why it's so important. Also, when I run around Israel, or when I have these different Hebrew U or Tel Aviv kids, or the Gap Year kids, I know there's a future with those kids. I know that I'll talk to that young boy who says, "Oh, I go to Tulane." Oh my! Right away, writing it down. He might be in Madrid in 2 years from now,
Right.
and I got to make sure he's going to rush on with me. You understand? And he'll bring me other people, and I know that. That's why I'm always sitting there with you, with a young person. You know, like I hate to say, like a business person, analyzing. You might think I'm checking him out or her out. You know, I'm just, my mind is thinking what I can do to help him out in the future more and more.
I got it.
Right now, we're giving out Hanukkah menorahs to all the college kids and in the Army, too. Coming up.
What kind of menorahs? Like thin, like the tin ones, or what?
Some get thin and some are going to get the oil. I have soldiers who are going to get some oil ones. Right? The Army does give out Hanukkah menorahs. I do not want you to think they do not. They also give out tefillin. Don't think they don't, okay? But some units have called me up that they don't get enough for their units, okay? So we're going to get them. And then we're
you
gonna,
help supplement.
I help supplement.
That's nice.
Okay? Not me. Donors are mine. I'm just, someone who gets on the phone with a big mouth and says, I need money for these menorahs for the college students and for the IDF and for the soldiers. Both. And I got to give out the students. Students are going to get Hanukkah menorahs. And it's just another way of having a small light during the year. And even though the universities do not allow me to give them out on campus, we're still going to give them out. Don't worry.
You'll find a way.
I will find a way.
Okay. 2 last questions, okay?
Okay.
So
It's Seidel. That's your last question? How to spell my last name?
No. Hopefully I have a better question. I feel like I should know the answer to this. The sneaker in the logo. You have to. I forget the shoe in the logo. I forget the history.
You were ready.
Okay.
You already said the wrong word.
What did I say wrong? Oy vey.
It's not a sneaker.
I know. All I know is your logo has always been associated with a shoe. With a
Shoe. It's not a bowling shoe either.
It looks like a bowling shoe.
Okay. It's a saddle shoe.
It's a saddle shoe. Okay, I got it. All right. So what's the story behind it?
Are you serious? You don't know?
You got to tell me. No. Shoe leather? No, I don't know the story.
Okay. What kind of shoes do you wear?
As comfortable as I can be.
That's the right word. As comfortable as you can. Okay? Now, with the shoes. When I came to Israel, it was in the 80s, early 80s. They were redoing the entire Jewish quarter. It was all rock and rubble. It wasn't like it is today. I remember when it was raining out, it was mud. We'd like slide down, like a slide, down by the Cardo. And then it was all gravel. And I'd walk around talking to people. And the bottom of my feet had bruises on it. I couldn't even walk. You understand? My feet were the bottom hurt so much.
It doesn't sound like you were sitting very much, so obviously your feet were hurting.
Sit much? How can you sit much? You got to walk and talk to people.
I'm saying you.
Yeah, and thank God I wasn't in a wheelchair yet. Right?
Actually, a wheelchair might be good for you now. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you wouldn't have to sit. You don't have to worry about.
That might be a good idea coming up as soon as I get older, right? Spin me around like North Pole.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened was, I needed a pair of shoes. And I bought a pair of Israeli shoes. It didn't go well. And then I went to America, see my parents, right? And I went everywhere looking for shoes. I'll never forget, everywhere. And I couldn't find shoes that were comfortable for my feet. Like you said, you have comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
On the way to the airport, I said, let's stop one place on the way to the airport on Dempster. It was called Chernins. I found a pair there. The saddle shoes. And since then, I've been wearing them. And don't tell anybody. You got them?
I see them. Okay.
I have 10 pairs in my closet still. I stocked up on them.
You still wearing the same model? Those same, that's...
They changed a little bit of model, but the same, light and the blue. Yeah.
Shabbos too? Shabbos as well?
That's all I own.
That's all you own.
That's all I own. And a pair of gym shoes, right? And a kippah that covers up my bald spot.
At your child's wedding, what'd you wear?
Cross sandal shoes. What do you mean?
Okay, all right, just checking. Just making sure.
I don't...
Yeah,
That's all I got.
You don't even understand the question. Okay. Okay, got it. All you got. All right. Wow. Everybody. Jeff,
Wait, what did I do?
You're not doing anything. You're being Jeff Seidel. So that's I want you. I've had a chance to meet a lot of people. Over the
Right.
years. You don't know my whole background, but I've met a lot of interesting people from Israel. Just a lot of special people. We had recently here Shai Kalach, who you may or may not know. He's on the political side, but we've had some very interesting people. Avi Berman from the OU recently.
Sure.
So just and what I've learned is that everyone's crazy in their own way. Okay, but everyone's nuts in their own way.
I'm a nut job.
But you are a nut job for the Jewish people.
My wife says when I met... I have another story. I met my wife. My wife says when I met you... I wasn't sure who you were, but I wanted to go on this whole journey with you. It's like roller coaster ride. I'm still with you, whatever you do.
It's unbelievable. She said that. She didn't know what you were, but she wanted to be on the journey with you. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Strong statement. Yeah. So the truth is, the answer is one of my things is, you talk about what you're not good at in life. You've never found anything you're not. Are there anything you're not good at?
Yeah. I'm not going to give a shear.
You're not going to give a shear.
I'm not going to give a Gemara shear. Okay? I'm not going to sit there and give a halacha shear. I'm going to sit there and shut up and listen to you if you're the rabbi. And I've done this. When I sat in the yeshiva, I sat there and shut up and listen. Because that's my place. I'm not going to be the one to sit there. Okay? Each one of us have to know who we are and what's expected of us. Your job, I'm going to say your job. Your role is a newspaper, is these podcasts. My job is to go out and talk to people. And I only hope that I'm still able to, that I have the funds. And why do I say that if I have the funds? For two reasons. And I'm very serious now. Two reasons. That I want to make sure I can pay for activities, programs to attract these people, and that I don't got to sit there all morning, all day, looking for money when I can be outside talking to kids.
I understand.
That's what it's the two things. The problem is that sometimes I'm sitting there, like with the barbecue things, part of the day, fundraising or this and that, and then got to go out and do it.
It's hard. Well, my bracha to you is that you should be able to raise the funds and stay and be out there talking and just doing.
And they have the energy still.
And
to play the night games and day games like I used to be able, huh?
I hope you have the energy to do it for I hope you don't stop. I hope you don't stop. I want you to know that I'm really I'm humbled. I know you're a friend of my friend David Fisher. I am humbled by sitting here with you, and I'm just it's one of those times where we're like we're kind of blown away a little bit. I'm a little bit I'm in awe of you right now. So I just want to end like that. So we're
I'll only end if we make L'chaim together.
Thanks for being with us on the Jewish Link Pitch Meeting podcast. If you would like to participate or be in touch with us in any way, please email us at editor@jewishlink.news and follow us and find our podcast wherever you find podcasts.